Today we'll look at miraculous characters and figure out if they need therapy or jail. Spoilers ahead. I was going to have this be pretty black or white, but there's a lot about some of these characters that makes it hard to decide on one or the other, so let's do this with a good old tier list. Let us explain each tier. First we have extensive therapy. This one is for every character who has been through shit. And oh my god, do we have a bunch of those. Next we have therapy, which is for the ones who aren't that mentally fucked but still need it. We also have irrelevant, which is for every character who we either don't know enough about or are kinda irrelevant and don't fit any category. Then there's thin ice, which is pretty self-explanatory. I'll keep an eye on you suspicious ass people. Last but not least we have the jail tier. If you end up in this tier, just know you'll be rotting here for the rest of your life. Let's start off with the kids. First we have baby August. Not sure if this little motherfucker will remember his akumatization when he's older, hopefully not. Imagine being akumatized as a fucking baby, OMG, that's embarrassing. If his mother reminds him every other day, he'll need therapy for sure. Actually, most people who interact with Gabriel need therapy. Exhibit A, our next contestant is this fucking gremlin. You bet her ass is going to therapy. Manon needs to be stopped right now. Also, didn't your mom tell you not to talk to strangers, let alone terrorists? Little girl, give her a therapist before it's too late. Next up we have Froggy Boy. He's an icon, he's a legend, and he is the moment. He better stop talking to creepy old men. Gabriel, though. Same case as Manon. I know there's probably more kids, but I don't care. Moving on to the teens. Let's welcome Marinette to the stage. Extensive therapy. I will be making a derision analysis video soon, and we'll touch on the Marinette backstory as well as her situation with Chloe and the extent of the bullying, so I won't go into too much detail here. You're telling me this one traumatic event ruined her life forever and is tarnishing every prospective relationship she has with her crushes now? This girl feels like she can't be normal around her crushes and can't confess unless she knows every single thing about them, because they could turn out to be like Kim. The difference is Kim is clearly a jock, but Marinette was too blind to see it. The prank he and Chloe pulled is the reason for her obsessive, creepy, stalkerish behavior, and it's nothing but trauma response. Take her to therapy for the love of God. Venting to Alia and Tiki won't get her anywhere. It's clear that she's also suffering from some kind of PTSD, and potentially depression. And she's very much giving neurodivergent. Why are her parents so fucking blind? I know we kept saying she needed mental help back when she became the Guardian and she never got it, but I think it's inevitable after the season 5 finale. Her boyfriend is a sentient monster and the universe will be destroyed and rebuilt the way Gabriel wanted it, which means she loses. Let's just hope she will be taken seriously and won't be sent off to a mental asylum if she tells her therapist that. Damn. Next one is Chloe. I can't believe this is happening right now. We won't talk about the elephant in the room, her character assassination, yet. I'll keep that for the derision script discussion video. Chloe needs extensive therapy, but for different reasons. I blame Audrey. Then there's Sabrina. I think she deserves a video just for herself, to be honest. There's so much that's left unsaid when it comes to her and her relationship with Chloe as well as with her father. Also, where is her mama? I think she's so used to Chloe treating her like shit she's seeking comfort in it now and has probably developed some kind of Stockholm syndrome. Therapy. Ivan is up next. He's one of the 14-year-olds dragged into having a kind of responsibility that they shouldn't have. Responsible for a whole city even if it was for 2 episodes, so therapy. Milen is joining him, also to treat her phobias and fears and shit like that. We won't talk about her hair in this video, but we should. What the actual fuck? Hope the therapist specializes in teaching people to unlearn cultural appropriation because she needs it. Next on the list is Alia. I wish they focused more on her, to be honest, because I don't know where to put her. She should probably see a therapist for the shit she has witnessed being dragged into this superhero shit with Marinette. Knock knock, who's there? It's Nino. I wish they didn't turn him into a mere comedic relief, and I wish Rocketeer didn't exist. Unintentional character assassination. This boy needs therapy, and he needs to know that spying on your girlfriend with goofy detective gear is not cute. Next we have Alex. In therapy tier she goes. Her situation in season 5 is crazy. Imagine being trapped in this fucking burrow and you can't get out and live your life like normal because of this ugly rich terrorist monster. Hope she's having fun with the dinosaurs at least. Goddamn. Next up is Kim. I don't fucking like you. He needs some therapy for real though. Hope your therapist teaches you how not to be a bitch. Marinette was too nice to give you a chance to fight alongside the heroes. Ho. Next up is Rose. Therapy. You guessed it, time to talk about Julika, the depressed quiet gay emo girl with a passion for modeling. Not a very loud one, but still. She got issues. Therapy tier. It's Max's turn. Therapy for sure. Aside from potential pressure since he's a top nerd student or whatever, he believes you can have your eye gauged out by a napkin, breaking through your glasses. Did they dumbify him on purpose in that episode? Time for Mary Lee Zoe Lee. Therapy I guess? She has some issues going on. Her mother hates her and she was pranked with cockroaches in her locker back in New York, I think. I guess she does have something in common with Marinette after all. Also she's queer and all of us queer people need therapy. Nathaniel, I know I just said as a gay person you should have your little therapist to vent to, but he's irrelevant in my head, so. Same with Mark. They go hand in hand. Literally. Lila, it's been 5 seasons and we still don't know what her problem is. I'm putting her on thin ice. She's sinister as hell for literally no reason. 3 different identities and mothers for what? Who do you think you are? Hope we get a proper explanation of how she ended up like this. She's presented as nothing more than an edgy petty 14-year-old who wants attention. She's targeted Marinette because she's the only one who's not fooled by her bullshit lies and has also let Adrian know. And conveniently enough one of her lies are about Ladybug, who also called her out, so she's the second target. And guess what Ladybug is in relation to Marinette? Exactly. The same damn person. Lila will be overjoyed when she finds out. Also stop trying to talk to this ugly terrorist man in his 50s and stop suggesting ways to abuse his son further. I'll keep an eye on you. Next is Aurora. Stormy Weather 8. I was going to put her in the irreverent tier at first, but damn girl, you do need therapy after all. I promise you losing is never that serious. You're a bad bitch though, I'll give you that. Next is Ondine. She's dating Kim, so she needs therapy for that alone. Faye also needs therapy. My love, we'll meet again. Next we have Theo. Remember Copycat? Apparently he's supposed to be a teenager. Why the fuck does he look like a grown-ass man? I was gonna call the FBI but now I'm not sure. He's on thin ice. Creepy motherfucker. Next is Luca. Little bro needs therapy. I mean, he was so in love with Marinette only to break up because he knew they just wouldn't work because of her secrets that she couldn't say, only to find out what her secret is and realize they're not meant to be. Shit must be heartbreaking, to realize what she's been going through this whole time, trying to balance her superhero life and pretending to be a normal teenager knowing nobody else can relate, hanging on by a thread. And he can't even help. Hope he gets a therapist during his stay in Brazil. Prince Ali is irrelevant. Wayham is on thin ice. There's something seriously wrong with this guy. I will never forgive the writers for trying to pass off stalkerish behavior as cute. Saquiline is a new addition to the show, and apparently she was in Marinette's school the year prior to the show's events. She defended Mari when Chloe bullied her and was the only one who could intimidate Chloe. She witnessed Marinette's villain origin story, the moment she decided she'd stalk any future crushes to find out everything about them so she doesn't relive the trauma and the humiliation, and quite literally announced it. Therapy tier. Kitty section, disband. Moving on to the Senti monsters. Their own category because they're a special batch. First on the list is Adrian. Yes, I'm putting him in the Senti category. Cope. He's still a human teen in the show. The way he was created doesn't take away any of his humanity. Keep that in mind. Anyways, Adrian needs extensive therapy. Little bro got so much going on and he's completely oblivious. His father is an abuser who thrives on his sadness and a terrorist who commits crimes in the name of his dead wife who told him to stop chasing the miraculous. He didn't listen to her and now his son has to pay the price. Also his GF got a lot of trauma that she can't leave behind and I fear for their relationship after the wish in the finale. Next one is Kagami. She can't hate her mother no matter how strict and controlling and conservative she is. We find out that Tomoe doesn't need to use the ring to control her because she's been emotionally manipulated enough to obey her mother naturally. Also, her entire conflict in season 5 is trying to get over Adrian and coping with having her two best friends date. Perfection broke my heart. She is going through it for real. My sister is heartbroken. But this is where Felix comes in, so I guess she'll heal at least a little bit by the end of the season. Love that for her. Next up is Felix. He is severely mentally ill. Messiah complex, suppressed trauma, emotionally and physically abused, misguided but means well, daddy issues, irrational behavior. Probably depression, etc. The shit his father did to him has altered his brain chemistry to the point of possibly no return. He's such a deep and intricate character, and the last few episodes of season 5 add so much depth to him. He just wants to be free from the trauma, but he couldn't tell Ladybug his story because she let the strike back Centis die until he knew she was Marinette, who he trusts, therefore he had to tell her. Episode 24 is crazy. Fuck Cold Fathom. Emily, please provide your son with a licensed therapist. Next one, Centibug. I'd recommend a therapist for you, but Mayura killed you, so that's too bad. Oh my god, that scene was crazy. Miss Girl got murdered on screen and Gabriel mocked Chat Noir for feeling bad. Gabriel, your son is just like her. Fuck you. Red Moon. Felix planned this weeks in advance. He snapped everyone from existence and at last he had to kill you because you were too much. You reflected in anger and upset the people he wanted to save. He had no choice but to kill you with a heavy heart. I'm so sorry, baby girl. I felt exactly what Argos felt in that moment. Therapy for you. Strike back. Therapy again. After rewatching this episode, I felt what Felix felt. I'm so sorry you died like this. And I'm sorry you were controlled by the bitch Gabriel. Exhibit 500. Everyone is Gabriel's victim. There are more senti monsters, but this video will be an hour long if I do all of them, so. Next we have the robots. Ian needs therapy after the shit Ladybug pulled that made Chat lose focus and acumatize her. You just had to upset him like that, didn't you? And they still blamed him. I'm so sorry, Ian. You literally died. Therapy. Next is Max's robot. Irrelevant, sorry. Next we have the Quamis. Starting with Tiki. Therapy. This bitch has seen some shit. She's been alive for 50 billion years or whatever. Started off with dinosaurs and now she's living with a mentally ill teenage girl. Plag, been alive for billions of years, has seen enough shit. He's living under the same roof as Naru and has no idea. Plag, you need to give yourself a little tour of the house, please. Anyways, he needs therapy for that cheese addiction. Duusu, gender fluid legend who needs therapy. Go with your holder because he needs it too. So sorry you had to live with Gabriel's ugly ass. And Natalie was blinded by her obsession with him and didn't think to give herself or you a break. At least Felix will be your bestie now. Naru, extensive therapy. Poor baby can't catch a break. He's literally doomed for eternity. After Lila renounces him, he needs to be in the hands of someone who will give him therapy and meds to get over all this shit. He's literally imprisoned. Pollen, therapy. She had to deal with a stubborn Chloe and then a Mary Sue. And now she's one of Gabriel's kidnappees. Bark, therapy because he lives with Gabriel. Oriko, therapy because he lives with Gabriel. Mulo, therapy because she lives with Gabriel. Roar, therapy because she lives with Gabriel. Sass, therapy because he lives with Gabriel. Stump, therapy because he lives with Gabriel. Trixx, therapy because he lives with Gabriel. Zupu, therapy because he lives with Gabriel. Ziggy, therapy because he lives with Gabriel. Daisy, therapy because he lives with Gabriel. Fluff, therapy because she lived with Gabriel. Kalki, therapy because he lives with Gabriel. Waze, therapy because he lives with Gabriel. Longed, therapy because he lives with Gabriel. Moving on to the adults. Gorilla, therapy because he lives with Gabriel. Little bro is literally just doing his job and watching the chaos unfold, and he can't do anything about it. So sorry, this is your fate. Alec, drag representation. Love that for you. He has some childhood trauma, so in therapy you go. Emily, extensive therapy. I'm so sorry they made you marry Colt Fathom, sweetie. The worst part is she couldn't say no to her parents because she didn't want to disobey them or upset them. She had to endure a possibly abusive marriage with this ugly-ass billionaire who had power over her, and she was only freed from his ass when he died. The good princess is finally seeing what's up with Gabriel. I wonder if Felix has told her the cunt is monarch. Girlie has been through some shit. Anarcha, therapy because she has relations with Jagged Rock. And she raised these kids by damn herself. Girl boss. Andre ice cream, jail. Stop relieving yourself to your fantasies of 14-year-olds dating. Fucking freak. Why the fuck are they keeping him in business? He needs to be on a watch list. One more stunt like the one you pulled in Emotion and you're in the lapidation tier. Andre Mayer, therapy. He has relations with Audrey and he can't do shit to stop the classist demons from overtaking his daughter. What the fuck is he scared of? She's only 14. Something to discuss in therapy, I guess. Audrey, jail. Abandoning her daughter and husband to start a new life in New York and coming back a decade later to mock them both. Enabling and abusing her daughter, only bonding with her over being classist cunts and bullies. She's the core problem. Bob Roth, not the writers using Bob Ross's name. Anyways, he's going to jail. A fucking scam. Butler Jean, therapy because he lives with Chloe. Caline, therapy because she's an underpaid teacher and has to deal with the miraculous where everyone sucks. Also, Mr. Damacant is the principal of the school she teaches in. And she's pregnant. Emily, you're on thin ice. Show us what a great mother you are and I'll believe it. Ho. Master Fu, jail. You ruined Marinette's life by forcing these responsibilities on her too soon. You're the reason she has all this added stress and she can't live her youth like a normal teenager. It's sad. She's literally doomed because if she renounces the box, all memories from her time as guardian will be gone. You ruined both Mari and Adrienne's life. You're way past your due date, literally die. Freak. Destroying these little kids' life because you were also guardian from a young age? Aren't you embarrassed, you cunt? You gave them the two most powerful miraculous knowing they were made for each other. You know what happens when the holders of the two most powerful miraculous date, right? I wish you would die. I hope your GF leaves you. I'll probably make a whole video ranting about this. Next. Jagged flop, jail. I wouldn't be a good father because I do drugs every night at my shows. You will literally kill yourself. Didn't you think of that before getting your wife pregnant, you bitch? If Luca never bothered to find out more about his father, you'd still be in hiding. Roger Rain Comprix, jail. All cops are bastards. Your daughter is Chloe's slave and you're doing nothing about it. Corrupt fugly monster. Of course you're a cop. And of course you're a ginger. Freak. Go die in a ditch. Sabine, your daughter got bullied for years and she's currently depressed and you don't pick up on anything. She was having a meltdown in transmission and what did you do? Nothing. Exactly. Am I supposed to believe she's such a great mother? That's bullshit. The least she could do about the bullying is let Marinette change schools. But no, she just let her daughter suffer in silence. You know the principal doesn't give a fuck as long as he's bribed with money. Why do you keep her in that cursed school? Tom Bredman, same as Sabine. Suhan, irrelevant. You're fucking incompetent. And to think I used to like you. Thomas Astrock, thin ice. Veronique, irrelevant. Ramier, therapy. Something's up with this guy. He's so hyper-fixated on pigeons, I'm starting to think there's something deeper. Aleem Kudbal has to live without his daughter BC. She's stuck in the burrow. Therapy. Harry, irrelevant. Gina, she's hot but irrelevant. Marianne, irrelevant. Science teacher, therapy. Damn, nobody likes you. Fencing teacher, irrelevant. Art teacher, irrelevant. Damocles, thin ice. Your school is a mess. He didn't give a fuck about the students, he only cares about the mayor's money, which Chloe always threatens him with. Better suspend Chloe if she don't change her ways and stop being a capitalist freak. Her dad's money is not worth your reputation tarnishing. Can't wait for the students to wake up and protest to have his ass fired. Also, he was stupid as fucking chameleon because why doesn't he just check the security cameras? They have those in his school, right? You're bad at your job. And he's stupid as hell for not questioning Iris Verdi further. How the hell did she trick him into letting her in his school, passing herself off as another person who doesn't exist? Unless Iris Verdi is a real person in the MLB universe who Lila killed and took her place. Damn. Don't question the logistics of that, but I digress. Naja, therapy because she lives with Manon. Roland, irrelevant. Natalie, we need to talk about her alone in a separate video because she's such a complex multi-dimensional character. Her development throughout the seasons showcases her relationship with Gabriel and how much she wants to help him while being in love with him, and her selflessness. Although she knew it wasn't what Emily wanted, she unconsciously fed into his addiction, all while discarding the other favor Emily asked, to be a mother to Adrian. She only realized how insane Gabriel had grown to be in season 5, and thus she begins to resent him. Adrian is her only driving force and the only reason she's not leaving Gabriel right now. If it wasn't for the peacock miraculous eating her alive, she's wasted her whole life serving the Agresti family. She was dragged into this mess. Literally, what are her interests? Does she have a life outside of Gabriel, or is she doomed in this current timeline? Hope she gets therapy in season 6, if she's aware of shit that went down in the timeline before the wish. Extensive therapy. Colt, jail. Watch the first video on my channel. Also, Warlord, was he a war criminal? That explains a lot. Gabriel, jail. He's one of those characters who just need a whole video for themselves because there's so much to say. A piece of shit. I'm glad he's going to die, furious that the public won't know what he truly was. I could scream about this for hours, like I'm so fucking angry about the season 5 finale. Tomoe, jail. We know she's heavily involved in all this mess. You are not the badass you think you are. You're nothing but a piece of shit and a terrible mother. Literally, Daikagami deserves a loving mother, not this cunt. You've isolated and manipulated your daughter enough to make sure she'll naturally cling to you and follow your orders so you don't have to use the ring to control her. You have no shame. You think your daughter can't draw for shit, but your ass is blind. I'm sorry, but you're literally asking for it. Anyways, Operation Alliance, season 5 finale is Tomoe and Gabriel at their very worst. We'll talk about this in full detail in another video when we get more leaks about it. I know I forgot a few people, but I think that's enough for today.